Hi, this is Mr. Hardman. I'm sorry, I have a pretty good cold right now. Want to do a couple problems just to help on the SAT. Uh, we're going to start right down here. For questions 3 and 4, I'm going to show you in a minute. These are our two formulas. So we have the sound energy quantities formula, J equals PV, sound field quantities formula, J equals P squared over Z. Now, the first problem says, based on the sound field quantities formula, what is P in terms of J and Z? So we find the sound field quantities formula, which is J equals, so I'm going to bring it up here, J equals P squared over Z. I'll bring it up here. And what we want to do is see which one of these. It says, what is P? We want to solve this thing for P. Now, anytime we have something of one fraction on one side and something like a constant or a variable on the other, I put it over one because we have something called a proportion. So we multiply. So we have JZ cross multiply. 1 times that is P squared. Now remember, we want to solve this. We want to solve this for P. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the square root of both sides. Now the square root of JZ is right there. Now the square root, P squared means P times P. The square root of that means is just one of them. So that's what P is. When we take the square root of P squared, we get P, and we're looking for P equals radical or square root JZ. And it looks like that's going to be letter B. So that would be our first part here. The second problem says, if the sound energies quantities formula and the sound field quantities formula give the same estimate for J, which of the following is equivalent to Z? Now, what it's really saying is these two equations right here, they're saying it says in the problem, if they give the same estimate, that means these two things are going to be equal to each other. So anytime they say give the same estimate, so what I want to do then is I want to take, if I turn this over right now, I'm going to I got J equals PV, and I got J equals P squared over Z. Hold on for just a second. And now we're going to put these equal to each other. So PV equals P squared over Z. Now, just like in the other problem now, we have a fraction. It's called a ratio on one side. I'm going to make this a fraction. Now, remember, this problem asks us which of the following is equivalent to Z. That means we want to solve for this Z right here. So I cross multiply. And like I tell my kids in class, whatever you see right now, so I see ZPV equals 1 times P squared is P squared. Now remember, we want to solve for Z. So I want to divide. This is all multiply. So I divide this by PV. I divide this by PV. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I do to the other. These cross out, and I have Z left over. But now here I have 1P down at the bottom. I have 2 P's up here. Just like 3 over 3 can cancel, 1P here is going to cross out 1. There's going to be 1 left over. So I have left over Z equals P over V. And I'm looking for the answer in P over V. That's going to be letter A. And that's the way we would solve those two problems right there. Thanks. Have a great day.